What is up, guys? Eric from Android Syndicate here, back with a brand new video. In this one we're going to be covering intents in Android. Now this is a continuation on a video I already made where we discussed the basics of intent. If you haven't seen that already, I'll leave an annotation up here on screen. But to get right into it, let's go ahead and first review some of the things that we did in the last video. So we created this new intent, which this first activity calls, where it's referred to here this, and we'll call this get message activity, and we'll pass some data along. So let's go ahead and just take a look. Okay, let's go ahead and type some text in here, hello world. And when we hit send, it will start up a new activity, and it will go ahead and send that message along to this activity here. So that's where we're at. But what we want to be able to do is say, hey, maybe we want to send that message to a different application, like say Gmail or Twitter. And that's actually pretty easy to do in Android. At first you might think that this sounds hard, but the way Android works, it makes it pretty easy. First thing we're going to do here is go ahead and create a different kind of intent. Instead of this time saying exactly which activity is going to handle this, we can leave it open-ended through something called an action. And how we would do that is simply saying intent, and we're going to say, if you can see here, there's all kinds of different actions that we can perform, like create a shortcut or a document, and there's a lot of different things that you can do here. But in our case, we're going to use action send, and what that does is it's going ahead and send something to another activity. But we have to specify what kind of data it's going to send. We could do that by saying set type, and in this instance we're going to be passing some text plain. And what this does for us is it says, hey, any application that accepts this type of intent, which is an action send, and this type of data, the text plain, that it can process it. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to have to put extra, and we're going to use another use of intent. We're going to say intent. We're going to use the intent class here, and we're going to say extra text, and then we're going to pass along here our message text that we got from our edit text view. So let's go ahead and test this out and see what happens. We're back here on the home screen. You can see not much has changed. Let's go ahead and try typing something else. And when we hit send info again, you'll notice this time we're brought up with a selection window, and we're allowed to choose different activities to handle this request. So you can see Gmail, Hangouts. Now if you were using a physical device, there'd be a lot more things like Twitter and anything that is able to accept this action. So if we go ahead and test it out with Messenger here, we're just going to select just once. And as you can see, it starts up the Messenger, and if we had some contacts here, we'd be able to select a contact and send that message along. And as you can see, this is pretty powerful because now I have access to this whole Messenger app or Gmail or whichever one I decide to use, so you can incorporate its functionality into your project. Well, I hope this guide was helpful. If you want to see the full written guide, please visit my blog at androidsyndicate.com. Don't forget to rate and subscribe, and happy coding, everyone.